Hello, guys, and welcome to another edition of Uzo Speaks. Firstly, I would want to state a disclaimer that I am not in any form taught that advocates unrealistic rights of women. Having said that, I would also want to state that I am a born again Christian and I believe in the resurrection power of our Lord Jesus Christ and also his extravagant grace and love for everyone. And it's on this basis that my YouTube channel was formed, and on the concepts and my first concept or topic rather, which is being single and whole. Having said that, last week my podcast was I spoke about being single, and I defined it as when someone is on his path to self-awareness, self-discovery, and also self-actualization. And I actually just wrote down the meanings of what these definitions were as it relates to what we're talking about. And I define being self-aware as having a clear perception of your personality, including your strengths, your weakness, your thoughts beliefs. Self-awareness also allows you to understand other people's perception of you, and also your attitude and your perception of you, and also your attitude, and also how you respond to them. Self-discovery can be seen to be the process of acquiring insight into one's own character, while self-actualization is the realization or fulfillment of one's talents and potentials. We would go further to talk about what it means to be whole. As I said, um, once someone is single, it also affords you the period and the path to be as whole as possible. And what does being whole means? So actually just wrote down what I know, what amongst the different definition of being whole, one of the definitions. And being whole can be seen to be when one is finished with your personal dreams, your goals, your aspirations, or to realize that while you are still alive, you are not finished yet. You still have a purpose in this life, even if your purpose is to die, so that something new will come from it. Now, so as I said, the key words were when someone is finished, when someone is a work in progress, you're on a path to your purpose, also your destination, and also the path of recreation. At least these were the key words that can be seen in the definition of being whole. These keywords are very vital for us as human beings, because what does it mean to be finished? Synonyms for being finished is when someone is totally complete, a state of total completeness. It means it's a completeness and completion. The aim of your creation was totally achieved, in the sense that when something is finished as a human being, it means that you're complete. Whatever purpose, the plan God had for you while you were coming into this world was achieved in all entirety. Meaning you achieved everything you wanted to achieve. Secondly, what does it mean? What does work in progress means? This means that you always have the chance to improve yourself and become something or someone better than you already are. Being a work in progress as pertains to a human being it means that you're in the path to being better than you are, meaning who you were last year is not who you are today, that you are way better and a lot more improved. And of course, being whole too means you're on the path to your purpose, your destination, and also recreation. And I think for me, what gets me mostly in the definition of being whole means, even if you haven't achieved what you were meant to achieve, that even if your purpose is to die so that something new would come from it, I think to me that just blows my mind, because it means that as every human being, every human being in this world has a purpose. Your purpose might not be, definitely might not be someone else's own, or it might not be for you to realize whatever dream you had or whatever plan you have, but it might be that you're the first tool, the first element that will kick off someone else realizing his or her dream. That is what the definition of being whole is. And I know that as a respected preacher I know would always say, when God wants to perform an operation in your life or a surgery, relating it to the normal surgical operations that happen in hospitals, if you want to go into surgery, the doctors need you to be on your own first. You need to be on your own before an operation is carried out. An operation is carried out on you, you have to be on your own. You do not in any way have to be joined to someone else, or no matter how much your parents love you or whoever, your spouse or your best friend loves you, he or she cannot be with you on that hospital bed to perform an operation. And I think that is relating it to what I'm talking about. That is the same way every human being has to be whole. You have to be made whole before being joined with someone else. And sometimes, and being single affords you the opportunity for God to work on you, for God to work on you, to help, to speak to you, to train you, to put you through trials and temptations, and help you get through such trials and temptations to become a better you. I was reading T.D. Jakes' awesome book termed Being Crushed, The Crushing, and my God, he really dissected and analyzed how, as every human being, to be successful, to get to that goal which God has created every one of us to get to, we all must go through one level of crushing or the other. And I know there was this part he said that every successful man has a bruise on his toe, and that of course they cover it up with a shoe or cover it up with a socks. And it's when you actually hear their story or get very close to them, you will see that they will pull up the shoe and show you a bruise which they've had in the path to achieving what God has called them for. Meaning that to be successful or just to live a life that was worth living, each of us has to be whole. A level of wholeness is very important for each and every one of us. And it's just so funny that growing up, the society preaches, not just the society, normal distraction from school, from when you're in high school, from secondary school, to when you go to the university, to when you even pass out. From when you just hit puberty, the first thing they're talking about is, oh, do you have a partner? Oh, do you have this? Do you have that? Forgetting that those things are really not important. As the Bible says, there's time for everything under the sun. Naturally, there'll be the time for you to meet a partner and for you to, give your best to whoever you meet. But fundamentally, the earlier one realizes that it is good to discover who you are, discover God's place in your life, the better the better the better for us all. And this can only be realized when, to a large extent, we are made whole. We are made whole, And I know that, for one, God has called all of us to a life of purpose, to a life of achievement. And this can only you can only sense that purpose which God has for you at the period when you decide that, oh, you want to find out. And it's only when you're being made whole. Of course, my next podcast, I will discuss signs of being broken, or signs of when one is not fully made whole, because literally the opposite of being whole is maybe to be broken or not made whole. And we realize that a lot of people are living unbroken lives. A lot of people that are just walking on the earth, but no direction whatsoever, no ability to be made whole. And we forget that you have to be made whole to be able to give yourself perfectly to whatever partner God has called you to live a life of purpose here on earth. That is really, really important. That is really, you can't give, as we all know, you can't give what you do not have. If you do not have, if you do not have the ability to be a good partner, if you do not have the ability to be the best you can, to love yourself, I think fundamentally is, if you do not have the ability to love yourself, you cannot in any way love your partner. Now, the deceit is that people define love in different ways, and people assume love or give love in different ways. But those are just, as long as one is not made whole, or one is not made to the best of, to the best ability of he or she is, he cannot in any way offer the same package, or offer the same, or offer the best package to his partner, and I know that for one, most of us live a life of, okay, let's enjoy the wave as it comes, let's live our life the way it should be, let's enjoy ourselves the way it is. And year in, year out, we just assume life is merry-go-round, and let's enjoy ourselves as much as we can, hoping that, okay, the future will sort out itself. you know you, you know but we forget that it is very important each day of our life to realize that we are all made for something greater, and something a lot more bigger than us. And we all know that the deceit of the environment, the deceit of the world, is to state that you're not complete unless you're joined to someone, or you're not together with someone. But I would say it is okay. It is okay to be single, to be yourself, as long as you know you are not ready to be the best for whoever God has called you to be his or her partner. It is very, very okay. And regardless of how people, the society dictates that, okay, your financial capacity, your education, whatever factor that dictates what it means to be joined with someone else, which the society can see or which they approve of. But in reality, realize that all those things are really fickle. Yes, I know it's a whole lot. It is really important. It is what would make a marriage, or what would make togetherness good with togetherness sweet with someone else. That really matters. However, there is a lot other things. When we talk about the battering of how a man would raise his hand on a woman, or how a woman would want to still have affairs even when she's married, all those things, it cannot we can see that finance, or her exposure, or whatever educational background she has, is not strong enough to withstand the brokenness of an individual that is not made whole, because all those things cannot in any way suppress it. It is important, you cannot in any way suppress it. So it is really important that the emphasis of should be laid on, for everybody, male or female alike, to have some degree of wholeness, which only, of course, God gives. Only God can give you that ultimate level of wholeness that would give you your satisfaction. However, you too should also strive to attain that. We're done for today, and hopefully my next podcast we're going to discuss the signs of brokenness and a lot other factors. I hope you've enjoyed the content for today. As usual, if you enjoyed the content, please click on the subscribe button, and next time will be awesome. Thanks, guys.